Hey friend, it's Graham from recordingrevolution.com. Okay, so with this global situation, many of us are stuck at home. And even if we aren't stuck at home, a lot of the traditional ways of making an income have been cut off or dried up or gone away. A good example of this, right, is live concerts. So many of my friends either play live or do front of house live, and that whole way of making a living, for now at least, is completely out the window. Now, I believe all these things will come back eventually, but until they do, if you are a musician who needs to make some income during this hard season, today I want to share with you 4 ways you can do that. Now, the first 2 ways of making an income online are a lot easier said than done because they require having a pretty massive fan base already. But I feel like it's my duty to at least make you aware of these ways of making an income, even if they're not the easiest to achieve. The third and fourth way are a lot more straightforward, and you don't need a big fan base to get those income streams going. So without further ado, let's jump in. Method number 1 for generating an income as a musician right now is through royalties and sales of your music. So one thing that's cool about the modern era we're in is that getting paid for your music has become a lot easier. There's so many more tools that do this for you. For example, DistroKid, which is the platform I use, will allow you to upload your music. It will distribute it to Spotify, Apple Music, all the places. It will collect all the payment for any kind of royalties, and then it'll deposit it into your bank account. It is completely hands off. Now, again, if you don't have a big fan base, it's going to take you months, if not years, to see a significant amount of money because the amount that you make is largely dependent on the sheer size of your fan base and if you've made it on any big Spotify playlist, let's say. CD Baby is another example of a tool that you can use to get your music distributed and for payment to be collected. But again, you got to be realistic with something like this. You need a large reach to be able to make a significant income. One cool thing to note, though, is that Spotify has added a virtual tip jar that you can activate, which allows listeners to tip you a little bit of money as they're enjoying your music, which is pretty cool. Method number 2 is virtual live shows. In this strategy, you simply do Facebook live streams or Instagram live streams or YouTube live streams, and you perform your music live, virtually, right, on the live platform, and you ask your fan base or your audience to, donate through a PayPal link or buy your merch while you're doing a performance, whatever it takes to kind of generate some income as a way of saying thank you for performing for me. Now, one of my friends, Rick Barker, helped a Nashville musician make over $74,000 during a Facebook live stream. I'll link below to the talk that Rick gave, kind of explaining exactly how he helped that musician do that if you're interested. But again, keep in mind, just like with royalties, I think making a decent amount of money through live shows largely depends on you having a pre-existing fan base, obviously, to perform for and to request support from. Now, a more immediate way to generate income online these days is through tutoring, right? So many people are stuck at home right now and they have time and they want to improve their skill, their craft. And so what I'm seeing a lot of musicians do is offering tutoring services for how to play guitar or how to play drums or piano or how to sing better. Whatever their skill is, they're tutoring people virtually through a video platform like Zoom. And it doesn't have to be musical instruments either. You can do DAW training or DAW tutoring, teach people how to use Pro Tools or Logic or whatever, because you can screen share and you can come alongside somebody and give one-on-one education to help somebody out in an area that you have a lot of knowledge in. You can use platforms like Craigslist or just even on social media to promote your services. If you have an Instagram following or Facebook following, say, hey, I'm opening up some tutoring spots to tutor this, or this. DM me if you're interested. And a cool strategy I've seen certain musicians do with this is offering a only pay what you can afford to tutoring rate. And this has helped them stand out over other music tutors as it removes a barrier for people who might be interested. And finally, the fourth way to create an income right now as a musician is through offering remote music services. So this is probably my favorite way to do this right now. This is where you offer yourself as a recording engineer, mixing engineer, session player, mastering engineer, producer, whatever, remotely, using platforms like SoundBetter or Air Gigs, where you can create your own profile and you can be found and searchable when someone's looking for a certain, freelancer. So for example, if someone's looking for a session guitar player to play some lead guitar on their albums, like I've done in the past, right? I don't play lead guitar and I need someone else to really add some licks. You could go on Sound Better or Air Gigs and type in guitar player, and if you happen to be a guitar player, these people could find your profile and hire you. Or a lot of times it's when recording engineers or people who write their own music have recorded their music but just don't feel comfortable mixing it, or it's not sounding as good as they'd like, and so they want to hire a mix engineer. They get on Air Gigs or Sound Better and look for mixing engineers, and you could be one of them that they find. And what's interesting is that lots of artists and producers are using these sites, both on independent and major labels, to complete their music. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be on some of these platforms, being discovered by people and offering up your services. So basically, if you have a musical skill as a mix engineer, mastering engineer, producer, session player, something like that, this is a great way for you to create a side income. Now, with that in mind, I have something pretty cool going on. We're bringing in mixer, songwriter, producer Charlie Westrup to teach you how to make a full-time living on these types of online platforms. Now, Charlie's a cool study because he started out as a coffee boy in London professional music studios and then went solo as a freelancer working with independent and major label artists in the UK. And he has been making a full-time income as a freelance recording, mixing, producer, engineer, all that stuff online for over a decade, and is doing it right now. And he knows these platforms, Sound Better, Air Gigs, inside and out. And he's been doing it while managing a family with kids and a newborn. So I wanted to bring him on to teach you exactly how to set up your profile on these platforms so that you get noticed and get hired, to know exactly how much to charge, to know how to manage your time and manage your projects, and also a bunch of other strategies to help you make an income online as a freelance musician, producer, or engineer. So what we're doing is hosting a live workshop online on Wednesday, June 3rd. And even if you can't attend live, if you join, you still can get the recordings and keep them for life. We're also heavily discounting the price for spots to this workshop due to the whole situation, trying to make it as accessible and as affordable to you as possible so that you can kickstart your music freelance career and start making an income faster. I'm super excited about this one. So to secure your spot and get more details on the workshop, just go to recordingrevolution.com/freelance or click the link below in the description. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful and encouraging. I hope you're staying healthy and safe, and I really hope to see you in the workshop.